G'day folks. Well, it's that time of the week again, and I thought I'd try a few different camera things today as well. Not much more than the usual. It's a bit hard to see because I don't have an LCD on the front of the camera, but I'll save up for a handy cam to do that sort of thing. This thing works pretty well actually for a mini pocket camera. It's a standard size pocket camera. It's not a proper video cam. I've basically just been busy this week. I work 4 days a week, as most of you know, and it's the end of my working week. Well, sort of. I never stop working, but as far as my day job at the pool company goes, that's it. So, I've got plenty to catch up on. I've got lots of new stuff coming in. Got a new soldering iron from RS Components. It's about 30 bucks. It's a Hakko Red 60 watt. This is good for doing heat sinks and big components. I notice a lot of these plasma TV boards have big heat sinks attached to the components, and you have to pull the whole lot off at once. So that with a new desoldering gun should be perfect. Likewise, I've got MOSFETs and startup resistor and some caps and other things coming for the TIAC HD plasma. I worked out the MOSFETs on the primary side of that power supply are short. Haven't tested the rectifier yet because I can't get that out. But there's a few other components to muck around with, and once I've got this desoldering gun it should be easy. Just working on the mini bike too. So I've got hose clamps, new fuel line for it. I'm replacing all the Chinese fueling stuff because it was letting dirt through to the carburetor. When I did get it started a few times, but it wouldn't run off choke. So that just tells you the main jet's plugged. It's very, very common for these carbies to do that. They didn't have any of the micro fuel filters at Repco, but believe it or not, these are actually cheaper. They're just a bit big. That's not bad. You can see what's accumulating in it too. I don't know what the flow direction is on it. I'm guessing that's your input side and your output. So you can see all the crap accumulate around there, around the outside of the element. So that's all good. They're actually $5 each. That's a lot cheaper than the micro ones, which I think they had sitting on the counter for $7.95 in the past. I haven't seen them in store for a while, but they're only about that long. They're a quarter of the size of this. So that's all good. That can hide in underneath somewhere. I might tie it to the chassis rail. Just more degreaser and inox and carby cleaner and stuff. You got to have that. So yeah, that's what's happening. I'll do a start video on this soon. I'm just trying to wheedle out some of the Chinese errors and cheapo stuff like crappy old hoses that have already perished, high tension leads which are notorious for leaking. My dad bought one of these for his H100, and straight off the shelf it was arcing through the silicon boot to the metal case, and the case was arcing to the head. So it had run for a bit then stall, run for a bit then stall, and he spent ages thinking it was the carby. I think he took one of these carbies, a Mikuni carburetor identical to that one, and adapted it, and spent days trying to get it to work. And then I just asked him, have you checked your ignition, because it sounds like it's actually cutting out, it's not running too rich or running too lean. And sure enough, the ignition cap was arcing out to the head. So these crappy little China things with the metal caps on them have to go. I know they say you shouldn't use carbon fibre core like automotive ignition leads like this, just like a VS Commodore one. I know they say you shouldn't use this sort of core, but the CDI doesn't seem to mind it. It seems to work quite well. Obviously I'm not going to use another metal cap one, but I'll use a Champion or a Bosch or whatever's up in that box there, and that'll all be good. Because these ones don't use the little nut on top of the spark plug either. You got to have the nut off for the thing to clamp onto it. Or alternately you can just replace it and use a lead which uses the nut. There's not really much difference. Yeah, apart from that it's working. I've repaired the kickstarter with some hard facing rod. I've built that up with hard facing rod that you use for rebuilding granulator blades and grater blades and things like that. It's a really hard wearing weld metal, so I'll be hard pressed to wear that out, but I'll still get a replacement. One of the faults is that it jams there against the brake bolt, and it worked that loose over time, so that's a bad design flaw, so that'll be replaced. And yeah, we'll go from there. Maybe even look at tapping 12 volt power off and put a headlight on it. I'll need a regulator for that, I guess. These magneto generator things aren't exactly internally regulated, so Well, it probably wouldn't matter for a light anyway, but if I was running anything else it would need to be regulated. Possibly even rectified. I don't even know if it puts out DC. It probably puts out AC. And again, if I use a 12 volt light globe, AC shouldn't matter. But if I wanted to use LED lights on the back end or something like that, just little baby stop lamps, I would need to rectify it to DC. So either way, it works. It will work when I make it work. It's just China stuff. You got to fiddle around with it, replace the really nasty bits. I've got a good brake lever there. It doesn't have the extension for the stop light switch, but it'll get out of trouble for now because that other part's missing. But yeah, clutch is good. Clutch doesn't stick. Clutch works well. Twist grip's fixed. Die castings are mismatched. They're two different models, two different parts. So I've fixed them up, ground them, filed them, drilled and tapped a screw into the bottom of it so that it doesn't rattle around on the handlebar. And the cable is not stuck against the side of the alley between the nylon twist grip and the alley casting either. It was like that from the factory. That's why it would turn it and it'd stick. So it's shit manufacturing there. Air filter hasn't tightened up. I jammed a tight steel, high tensile steel ring inside the rubber grommet, but the whole thing's just flopping around. It's a big dust leak. So that'll go. That'll be replaced. And I need to fix the front tyre and replace the tube in the back one because it's been torn out. So that's before I ride it anyway. Might putt around the yard on it, but I've got to fix the tyres before I get too carried away. Put the power down and that rim would just spin inside the tyre at the stage it's at. So yeah, that's all for now, and thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more. I'm going to try and move the Range Rover soon, I think. Brad's friend has definitely bought it and just got to move it. I'll probably buy another one or even buy it back off him when he gets sick of it. So look forward to four-wheel drive projects, but just not now, not when I've got a Series 1 Jag to play with. I mean, that's the real good deal. I think secretly Brad wants to keep it and sell me his Series 2, the white one, but it's not the same. That Series 1 is really nice. I've only driven it twice, but it's still really nice. We're just running the auto in at the moment, so we'll get that soon. Get it sorted. Get her done, as the my Yankee friends would say. Get her done. Funny how I can say that so well. People always pick on me for using Yankee terms and things like that. I don't use the term Yankee disrespectfully either. I've got great respect for Americans, and that's why I use a lot of their language. I know a lot of Americans are good people. I've got family in America. So, yeah, keep watching.